Minnesota, wake up, because the foundation of this franchise is shaking right now. We are staring at a complete philosophical overhaul that will define the next decade of Vikings football. I am talking about saying goodbye to a defensive legend who has been the heartbeat of this team for 10 years. But that is just the beginning. There is a massive $78 million quarterback rumor gaining steam, a critical decision on the backfield, and a draft warning that could change everything. The Wilfs and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah are on the clock, and mistakes here are not an option. Let's start with the hard truth that nobody in Minneapolis wants to hear, but everyone needs to accept. Sources indicate the Minnesota Vikings are preparing to move on from a 10-year veteran who has defined the purple and gold defense for a decade. This is not just a roster cut. This is the end of a glorious era. We are talking about a player who has survived coaching changes, scheme shifts, and roster turnovers, standing tall as the one constant in that locker room. From a business standpoint, the front office is looking at the salary cap and the need to get younger, faster, and cheaper on the defensive side of the ball. They see a contract that they want to shed to clear space for new signings. But let me tell you something right now. You cannot quantify leadership on a spreadsheet. You cannot put a price tag on the fear a player like this strikes into opposing offenses. When you remove a pillar of the community and a captain of that magnitude, you are ripping the soul out of the defense. Who is going to step up? Who is going to make the calls? This signals a full-blown rebuild of the team's identity. It is disrespectful to think you can just plug and play a rookie in that spot and expect the same results. The audacity to think the culture will survive without its primary architect is borderline delusional. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is playing a dangerous game with the locker room chemistry. If you cut the heart out of the team, do not be surprised when the body stops moving. This is a cold, calculated move that screams, "We are starting over," regardless of who gets hurt in the process. The fans love him, the city loves him, but the NFL is a ruthless business that takes no prisoners. This decision tells the entire roster that loyalty means absolutely nothing to this management group. But here's the scary part. If they are willing to cut ties with a franchise legend to save money and change the culture, what does that mean for the most important position on the field? You need to hear what is happening with the quarterback situation immediately. Before we dive into this massive quarterback news, listen to me. If you want the real truth about the Vikings without the sugarcoating, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update. The quarterback market is exploding, and the Minnesota Vikings have suddenly emerged as the betting favorites to land a $78 million signal caller via trade. Vegas knows something, and the insiders are whispering that Minnesota is aggressive. The front office knows they cannot waste the prime years of Justin Jefferson with mediocre quarterback play. They are looking at a veteran option, a proven commodity who commands a massive salary but brings immediate stability to Kevin O'Connell's offense. We are talking about a move that would shake the entire NFC North. Financially, absorbing a contract of this magnitude requires gymnastics with the salary cap, but the Vikings seem ready to push their chips into the middle of the table. However, I have to ask the question, are you kidding me with this risk? You are going to mortgage the future, give up draft capital, and pay $78 million for a guy who might not even be the long-term answer? This reeks of desperation. It feels like a panic move because they are terrified of being left behind in a division where the Lions and Packers are surging. If you bring in this expensive veteran, you are telling the world you are in win-now mode. But does the rest of the roster support that? This is a high-stakes gamble that could set the franchise back 5 years if it fails. You simply cannot afford to miss on a trade this large. The pressure on Kwesi would be suffocating. If this quarterback comes in and flops, everyone in the front office should be fired immediately. No excuses. But wait, because the plot thickens. While they are chasing this expensive veteran, the scouting department is looking at a completely different option in the draft. There is a specific report on a young, hyper-mobile prospect that has divided the war room, and the warning signs attached to him are absolutely terrifying for the future of this franchise. The disconnect between signing a veteran and scouting a raw rookie creates a dangerous confusion within the building right now. Sources inside the scouting department confirm that the Vikings have received a stark warning regarding a top-tier quarterback prospect described as hypermobile. The athletic profile is off the charts, the kind of talent that makes you drool when you watch the highlight reel. He can extend plays, he can run for 50 yards, and he has a cannon for an arm. But the warning is clear. His style of play might be a catastrophic mismatch for the structured, timing-based offense that Kevin O'Connell demands. The internal debate is heating up. Do you draft the supreme athlete and completely rewrite your offensive playbook, or do you pass on a potential superstar because he does not fit the current system? This is the classic dilemma, and let me be clear. If O'Connell is stubborn and tries to force a square peg into a round hole, it will be a disaster. We have seen this movie before. You draft the athlete, you try to make him a pocket passer, and you ruin his career while getting the coach fired. It is irresponsible to draft a quarterback just because he runs fast if he cannot read a defense or go through progressions. Yet, the upside is tantalizing. If he hits, he is Lamar Jackson. If he misses, he is a bust that haunts you for a decade. The scouts are split, the coaches are anxious, and the clock is ticking. This decision defines the tenure of everyone involved. Are they brave enough to adapt, or are they too rigid to evolve? The tension in Egan is palpable because they know one wrong step here destroys the momentum they're trying to build. But while they obsess over the quarterback of the future, they are neglecting a massive financial bomb ticking in the backfield. There is a $14 million headache involving Aaron Jones that needs to be resolved right now, and the outcome will infuriate a lot of fans. The management is ignoring the fact that you need a balanced attack to help any quarterback succeed in this league. They are so focused on the pass that they might forget the run game. We arrive at the final piece of this chaotic puzzle, and it involves the running back position. The Minnesota Vikings are staring down the barrel of a $14 million decision regarding Aaron Jones. The franchise is at a crossroads where they must decide whether to keep him at his current cap number, force a restructure, or release him into the wild. From a cap management perspective, paying a running back that kind of money in today's NFL is almost malpractice. The analytics say you do not do it. The trends say you find a cheaper option in the draft. But watch the tape. When Aaron Jones is on the field, the offense functions. He is explosive, he catches the ball, and he brings an energy that this team desperately needs. Are you really going to pinch pennies on your most dynamic playmaker out of the backfield? It is disrespectful to the player and insulting to the fans who want to see this team compete. If you cut him to save money, you are putting massive pressure on the quarterback, whoever that turns out to be. You remove his safety valve, his checkdown option, and his run game support. It is a recipe for offensive stagnation. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah seems determined to strip this roster down to the studs financially, but at what cost? You cannot win games with just a spreadsheet. You need players who make plays. If Aaron Jones walks, the Vikings lose a critical dimension of their attack. The locker room is watching. Justin Jefferson is watching. If they see the front office treating proven veterans like disposable assets, it sends a terrible message. This $14 million decision is a litmus test for the ambition of the Minnesota Vikings. Are they trying to win a Super Bowl, or are they trying to win the award for best salary cap management? The answer to that question will determine if this team rises to glory or sinks into mediocrity. It is time for the ownership to step in and demand a real plan. The fans deserve to know if winning is the main priority for this organization.
This is a defining moment for the Minnesota Vikings. We are looking at the departure of a 10-year defensive icon, a potential blockbuster trade for a $78 million quarterback, a risky draft strategy, and a massive financial standoff with Aaron Jones. The front office is walking a tightrope, and one slip sends this franchise into the abyss. I need to hear from you right now. Do you trade for the expensive veteran quarterback, or do you risk it all on the hyper-mobile rookie? And do you pay Aaron Jones or let him walk? The comment section is open, and I want to see your passion. Do not forget to like and subscribe as we track every single move. Skol, Vikings, let's see if they make the right call.